Ready to roll? Ready to roll?
Good evening, all. We want to welcome you to Drum and Strum, brought to you by Young Audiences of Houston, and of course, wonderful people who are our hosts here at Levy Park. My name is Jawad, and my partner's name is Joseph. I'm going to be doing some strumming, and he's going to be doing some...
Drumming.
What'd you say?
I'll do a little drumming.
All right. Let's start off with a poem, and I always tell the audience, reference to poetry or any form of art, it's not about whether or not you, quote, understand it, it's about how it makes you feel. So if you don't understand it, it doesn't matter. The question is, how does it make you feel? Drum and strum, intricate musical forms, correlating in sound and fingertip movement. Through the strumming of the strings and the tapping of skin on skin, drum and strum. The drum circumference is 360 degrees, consisting of wood, skin, and string. The guitar circumference is a triangle, consisting of wood, string. The hand supplies the skin. Present are all the elements of the earth, of the air, fire and water. And if you listen carefully, you can hear them all as we drum and strum.
Oh my goodness, this is a wonderful day. Finally, I'm finally back on the drum for the first time, I think, since maybe March.
Doesn't sound like it.
Oh my goodness, it's been a while, and COVID has kept everybody inside, and it's great to see everybody out. And I'm so happy to be outside at Levy Park, and it's always a joy to be with my friend Jawad. Again, this is Drum and Strum, and as Jawad was sharing with you, we're going to be doing a little drumming and a little strumming, but we're also going to be sharing a little bit about the history of these wonderful instruments that we both enjoy playing. Now, the drum that I was playing was called the djembe drum, and the djembe drum was created over 2,000 years ago by the Mali Empire. And in Mali, there's a tree called the djem tree that was used to create the djembe drum. Along top, we have what we call goat skin, and when we play the djembe drum, there are some sounds that we love to create. Now, the djembe drum, like other drums in the traditional African village, have always sort of served as our modern day cell phones. Whenever there's a certain event happening, certain rhythms would be played to bring people together. And based on the rhythm, you knew what type of event was happening. If it was a Kakilambi celebration, you would hear a rhythm that sounded like this. rites of passage for the young men. A rhythm like doo-doo-ba would be played, something like this. Meaning to it. You knew what type of event was happening. Now, we also have to share with you some musical terms that we often use when we're playing music. I mean, we can't forget rhythm.
Well, the essential elements of music are rhythm and melody.
That's true. Yeah. And can you tell me, Jamal, which one plays the rhythm instrument? Which one plays the rhythm? What instrument does?
Well, that can vary because some instruments are strictly rhythm, some instruments are strictly melodic, and some do both.
Like on the djembe drum, we're mainly hearing rhythm. But on the guitar, you may hear both.
You will most definitely hear both.
And melody.
Correct.
Yeah. So Jamal, tell me a little bit about the guitar. I tell them a little bit about the guitar.
Well, guitar, 6 strings. Its origin, well, let me go further back. When you deal with instruments, 3 instruments manifested throughout history in the ancient days. You find them in tombs and ancient ruins. You'll find some type of drum instrument, you'll find some type of string instrument, and some type of woodwind instrument, for instance, a flute. Well, string instruments go back, they say 3000 BC, and I'm sure the drum in one form or another goes even further back than that.
Yeah.
But as far as the modern day 6-string guitar, its origins come from the 1300s or the 12th and 13th century with an instrument called the guitar, and it was either a 4 or 8-string instrument, and it came out of Europe. And Spain, they did their little modifications to it and made the back flat because most of them were round like the lute, and it progressed to the instrument that I have in my hand. It can be played in many different ways. For instance, with my right hand, I have what they call a plectrum or a pick, and it's used in this way. There we go. Now, I wouldn't be able to do that with my fingertips. That's fast or efficient. Also, when you play with a pick, it's usually used for rhythmic purposes. So that's the rhythm aspect of the guitar. This is melodic. So, playing with your fingers or playing with a pick, 2 different sounds. With a pick, you heard the sound. With the fingers, you can get very delicate and sensitive. There's also another style called, I just call it the funky string popping technique. Technique called the bottleneck string slide guitar technique, and they call it bottleneck because back in the day when you couldn't go to what they call it, H&H Music or Guitar Center, you would have to take a whiskey bottle or a Coca-Cola bottle, cut the neck off of it, and of course sand down the edges so it wouldn't cut your finger, and you get a sound something like this. I'm not a bottleneck slide guitar player, but that's how it's demonstrated. If you ever hear that sound and you wonder where it came from, it's coming from a guitar with a slide.
Nice. You know, Dwight, as we talk about the drums and the guitars and the history, I always like to share a little bit about a gentleman who came to this country. His name was Babatunde Olatunji. Baba came from Nigeria. He came to this country to go to school, but he brought with him what's called the gungodo patai method for playing the djembe drums. Now, the gungodo patai are the three sounds that we create on the djembe drum. The goon sound is the bass sound of the djembe, and it's played in the center of the drum. Baba would always say, if you can say it, you can play it. So in the center, it creates that goon sound or the bass sound, the lowest sound on the drum. When you move your hands to the edge, you create the tone sound or the go-do sound. So you'll have the goon sound, the go-do. And then the patai is playing, striking the drum across the top, create the highest sound on the djembe drum. And Baba would always say, if you can say it, you can play it. That's right. So he would often give us a rhythm like goom, goom, go, do, goom, goom, go, do, go. Baba would always say, if you can say it, you can play it. So this is what I'd like to do. Now, I'm going to use the djembe drum, but I'm going to play, and we're going to, maybe you all can kind of join in this old traditional African-American song by the Gullah people from South Carolina. You know this song. You've heard this song. At campfires, you probably sing this song. And we're going to play along, and if you catch on to it, join in and sing along with us. Now that was a little bit of rhythm, and I hope my voice added a little bit of melody. You think?
Speaking of your voice, you need to bring your mic up, son.
Ah.
So we mentioned that there are two major elements of music. One is rhythm, which is the foundation, and the other is melody. And we're going to do a little exercise to show you how important both of those are and how essential they are to work together. Another thing about rhythm, there's a thing called tempo, and that has to do with how fast or how slow the rhythm is. And when it comes to melody, there's a word called pitch, and that deals with how high or how low. So pitch is how high and how low, and tempo is how fast or how slow. So you want me to demonstrate a little bit of that?
Yeah, let's try it. Let's try it.
Well, why don't I start with a song that everyone knows.
Okay.
But it's not going to have a tempo.
Okay.
And it's not going to have a melody.
All right.
Okay.
And what would that sound like?
Maybe something like this. So tempo is how fast, how slow. So if you don't have a tempo, you can slow down or speed up because you don't know what the tempo is, right?
Okay.
Maybe I should add a steady tempo to it. What do you think?
Yeah, let's try a steady tempo.
Okay.
Would you want to add some rhythm? Not yet.
Well, rhythm is fine. Once we have a tempo, you can add rhythm. But if you don't have a tempo, you don't know what I'm doing.
That's right. Let's go with it. Let's try that. Let's hit the tempo.
Now we have to ask them to
name that tune. Anyone?
Any ideas? Sometimes we hear what Old MacDonald at the farm.
We do.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Sometimes.
Roll, roll, roll your boat.
I've heard that one.
And in each case, you would be correct because the only way you can determine whether it's that song or this song is by the melody, not by the rhythm or the tempo.
The tempo,
right? So,
tell you
what you think I should add
some melody
to it,
and let's see what happens.
Okay.
Let's see if they can name that tune. Name that tune.
What did you just say? Happy birthday! How did you know that? Because we added the melody.
Yeah.
Very astute of you.
Any Virgos? Anyone born this month? Besides me? Nope. Okay, well, I'll put my hand down here. Thought I was going to have a whole crowd of folks here. But that's all right. That's all. I like that.
Happy birthday to you and all Virgos.
But that's the beautiful thing about music. Once you start putting all those elements together, seems like it really conveys a message.
Well, you mentioned message. That's exactly what a melody is. It's a group of notes that you put together, and when you put them together, they create a musical statement. You know, for instance, you can have alphabets A, B, C, D, F, G, but they mean nothing unless you put them together like D-O-G, dog, C-A-T, cat. You know what it means. So the same thing with melody. You put them together, they create an idea, a thought, a complete expression, and it's essential.
Yes.
It's essential.
I agree.
What do you think I try one more time?
Okay.
Okay. With the melody.
All right.
I'm gonna play a song that everyone knows, no doubt about it. But I'm not gonna make it too easy for you. I'm gonna mix up the notes. And there's only 4 notes in this song, but I'm gonna try to make it as difficult as I can.
All right.
All right.
Y'all got it. Name that tune. Okay.
Okay, here we try it again.
Try it again. Try it again.
And then mix it up again.
That's it. Ah, you got it, man. That's it. Name that tune. Anyway. No one? What's missing?
Well, you got to put it in the same. I mean, if you spell C-A-T, that's cat, but if you spell T-A-C, that's cat. So you got to put them together just the right way.
All right. So how about we add some rhythm to it?
Okay.
And see what it sounds like then.
Okay.
All right. I can't name that tune.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
Let's try it again. What do you think?
Huh? Name that. She said no. No.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
How
I'm
can
gonna
we
make it crystal clear this time.
Let's make it real
Okay,
quick.
all
All
right.
right.
Hold on.
Oh, welcome now. Oh no.
Hold up. I've been practicing this all night long. And I'm getting it wrong. Hold up. Here, let's go again. Did I get it right?
That's it. Name that tune.
I accept all applause for especially.
Okay, see that? Yeah, great job. You know, what? I mean, we're talking about musical instruments, and what I like to do, make a little adjustment here.
Okay. Earlier, a young lady asked, "What type of instrument is that you have?"
That's right. And as we talk about instruments from Mali, instruments that were created during the Mali Empire, the balafon is another instrument. It's a xylophone made of wooden keys, and also underneath there are gourds. And we're going to talk a little bit about how the gourd fruit serves with other
Multiple purposes.
multiple instruments. But the balafon was used by the griot. The griot the griot is just a storyteller, and the griot was always the storyteller of the king, of the royal family, and the griot would always pass down traditional stories from generation to generation. And so I'm going to give you a little poem like the one I did at the beginning, if you don't mind. And this one is A Village Without Music. And the rhythm we're going to play, hopefully you can maybe still hear me a little bit. I'm trying not to get too much feedback. Listen. It is believed that a village without music is a very dead place. Imagine all those drums. Drums with beautiful names, djembe, ashiko, and junjun. Drums of all shapes and sizes. Drums 10 feet long, and drums that imitate the tonal sounds of a particular language. It is believed that the drums are the heartbeat of Africa. Rhythm. Rhythm in our music and in our daily lives. Rhythmically attuned to self and to nature, to the community and to the creator. Across the desert, Sudanese camel drivers seem to encourage their animals to drink more water. And in the wooded forest, pygmies chant songs of praise to their communities. In the cabins and shotgun shacks of the deep south, parental obedience stories are being told to the young sons and daughters in an attempt to keep them from harm's way. Throughout decades, we've been granted the opportunity to experience rhythm and blues and express sentiments of social concerns and racial pride with soul. Throughout decades, the new modern day griot, the rap artist, spin tales today as if to trace the traditional steps of the traditional storyteller from Africa.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. It's such a beautiful instrument. And this one is both rhythmic and melodic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Joel, what you got, man?
Well, I have other instruments.
Oh, let me hear. Let me hear.
Okay. Well, let's start when you talk about the drum. You have a snare drum there, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Ah.
The snare drum is strictly a rhythmic instrument.
Right. That's right.
Well, we have another instrument that's essentially a drum with stick and strings. Let's take a look how they compare.
Ah.
Can you take the snares off?
I can.
Uh-huh. So hit again.
Aha. Yes.
No, not can be. It's a drum with a stick and strings.
Wow. Wow.
So this instrument is what they call a resonator banjo. They call it a resonator banjo because it's a banjo with a back, fancy name for a banjo with a back. It's played with what they call the three-finger picking style that was made famous by Earl Scruggs. You may not know about Earl Scruggs, but you may know about Bella Fleck, who currently, they consider him the best banjo player in the world. Needless to say, it's debatable. There's always someone better, right? He's the best known, that's for sure. Well, you start off with a pick on your thumbs and a pick on your first finger and a pick on your third finger. Yeah, no, well, for the third finger to make the three-finger picking style. So we already established that it's a rhythmic instrument, correct?
That's right.
So let's do something with the melodic aspect.
Okay.
Well, first of all, you saw me play the resonator banjo, and when people think of the banjo, they think of this instrument here.
And most people, when they think of the banjo, they think of like the Appalachian Mountains, bluegrass music, which it is associated with that. But the banjo originated in Africa. It came over on the slave ships with the Africans in one form or another as a gourd instrument. Once again, I mentioned that the banjo is nothing but a drum with sticking strings. If I took the strings off of this banjo, I could literally detach the drum part from the stick, or what they call the dowel stick, or the neck. This was made from a gourd. We walked into class, and there was a gourd and a stick sitting on the table, and some tools. And within 5 days, everyone walked out of the class with something that looked similar to this. Here's the actual top. We cut the top off of it, cleaned the inside of the gourd, took goat skin. You have to soak it and wet it, and stretch it over the top of what you call the gourd bowl, and you tack it and glue it. The wood is made out of maple. The tuning pegs are made out of ebony. The same type of tuning pegs you use for a violin or a cello. And once you string her up, she becomes a banjo. But before I play something on this thing, I want to tell you a little bit more about the gourd. The gourd is fruit, and it grows on a vine just like a watermelon or a squash.
Yeah.
And yeah, for instance, as I mentioned, the banjo came from a gourd. Shake it, the seeds inside, so it's a fruit, but I wouldn't suggest you eat it.
But what's this?
Oh, this is another gourd. They call this a dinosaur gourd. When I bought this, it was the color of a cucumber, a dark green, and I hung it up in my garage for about 4 months and it turned brown. The seeds dried on the inside.
Wow.
Gourd comes in many different forms. Here's a shakerade. It can't fall, it's on the ground. This is a gourd as well. It's called like the drinking gourd. And I'm sure you've seen pictures of women carrying these on their head from the river, bringing water to the village. Very loud instrument. Here's another form of the gourd. This is a thumb piano made out of a gourd. And let's see what we get out of this.
Now, before you play anything, I'm curious to know if that's a rhythmic instrument or melodic.
It's both.
Aha.
Because this is a percussive aspect of it. Let you know that every time I play this instrument, it makes me smile, and this is the reason why. Oh yeah, I try to add some more tricks to my bag every once in a while.
I understand. I do.
So,
well, I mean,
you want me to move on to another song?
Unfortunately, it's that time.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, excuse me while I get situated here. I'm going to share a song with you I wrote on the gourd banjo. All right.
something like this tune outside humidity. But it's like it's going to cooperate. And while it is, I better sing this song.
Yeah. Before you need to name that tune.
Hey, this is a story about a gentleman who was a Pony Express rider. I don't know if you heard about Pony Express. I'm sure you heard about Fed Express. And they basically did the same thing. They took packages from St. Louis, Missouri to Sacramento, California. And the reason why they did that is because from St. Louis, Missouri to New York, the East Coast, the railroad was there. But they're still building the railroad from St. Louis to Sacramento, the West Coast. So, excuse me, the Pony Express stood in that gap and provided mail service. Well, he had a horse, and his horse was named Get Back. And the reason why he named his horse Get Back is because he said, as much as I love traveling, the best part of traveling is getting back home. Well, so he was getting ready to leave and go deliver his mail, and his partner stopped him and said, "Hey man, did you know that Priscilla was back in town?" He said, "Priscilla? Wait, you mean Priscilla when I was 5, 6 years old? And we used to, go to school together, and our parents, ate dinner together and stuff like that?" He said, "Yeah, that's Priscilla. And man, she's looking good, and she's asking about you." And he was saying, "You know something? They always used to say that we would grow up together and get married, but the family moved away, but she came back."
Yeah.
And so needless to say, his mind got distracted, but he realized, hey, Pony Express, just like UPS and Fed Express, they got to be on the money on the time, So he was on his horse, and the song deals with his travels. For instance, it's a call and response song, so I'm gonna need your help with this. I say, "Get back, giddy up." You say, "Get back, giddy up." We do that 3 times, and the 4th line is, we all say together, "I'm coming through." So let's try to practice that real quick. Get back, giddy up.
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 I'm coming through.
All right.
All right. And he says, I'm coming through the rain, sleet, snow, mountains. I mean, there were Indians that, attacked Pony Express riders. There were bears, there were bobcats, snow, mountains, rivers across. But they made sure they got the mail there, just like the U.S. Postal Service. I was going to say, and that's another subject, isn't it? Here we go. When I see her, I hear heartstrings, I hear melodies, oh so true. When I hold her, I see mountains, I see heaven in my view. I'm singing, get back, giddy up, 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 get back, giddy up. I'm coming through, singing, get back, giddy up, get back, giddy up, get back, giddy up. She's my darling, yes, my angel. Bless her heart, she's a sight to see. We don't lays out, I've been traveling just 2 more days now. I'll be with you. I'm singing, get back, giddy up, 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 get back, giddy up. I'm coming through, singing, get back, giddy up, 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 get back, giddy up. I'm coming through. Once I lost her, now I found her. We got sunshine just for 2. 3 more days now. I've been traveling just 2 more days now. I'll be with you. I'm singing, get back, giddy up, 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 get back, giddy up. I'm coming through, singing, get back, giddy up, 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 get back, giddy up. I'm coming
get back, giddy up, get back, giddy up, get back, giddy up, get back, giddy up, get back, giddy up. I'm coming through. Sweet, get back, giddy up, 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 get back, giddy up. I'm coming through. I'm coming through.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, what?
Well,
Drumming strong.
has been done.
You've been doing some wonderful drumming, man.
And you've been some fantastic strumming over
Thank you,
there.
my friend. Brought to you by Young Audiences of Houston, and of course, hosted by Levy Park. It's a wonderful experience, a beautiful day, and a fantastic audience. Give yourself a hand. Yay!
Thank you all so much. I'm Joseph Dixon, and this is with my wonderful friend.
Well, I always ask two questions.
Uh-oh.
Number one,
That's true.
did you learn anything new today? Anybody learn anything new today?
All right.
Okay. And did you have fun? Then we did our job.
We did.
Thank you so much. You've been wonderful.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.